So today we're going to make a little Velcro bag. It'll be a bag that has Velcro there, and then we're going to put a cord on it. But let me show you how all the steps to get there. All right, on our pattern on this one, we have a couple of things. We have top line here that we're going to cut all the way around. This line right here says place on fold, so we're going to place that on the fold. And then it also tells us where the Velcro goes, where we're going to fold this. We put it right here, right on the fold. And then we pin it down. It looks like an awful lot of work for just to cut a square, but you'd be surprised. Now all these patterns are things that you can make bigger or smaller. I thought this looked about the right size. You could probably carry a little notebook or something in it. All right, so then we just cut around it. I always leave it like this, so I have to move my pin or else I'll cut through it. And then cut that. And now I have my bag all cut out. First thing we're going to do is sew the Velcro on. We have two pieces of Velcro. They're about this size. And I have it marked on my material. So I'm going to lay it right there. And I'm going to pin it. It's a little hard to pin Velcro, but it's also hard to keep it in place. Let's try a smaller pin. There we go. And then I pin it on the other side. Remember, I have to take pins out before I can sew on top of it though. All right, and when you sew Velcro on, the idea is to catch just the edge. Otherwise it's kind of hard on your sewing needle. So I want to get right in that little loop there. But I have to catch it, otherwise it won't stick. All right, and I come down here. Once you get to the end there, you leave your needle in place. You lift the presser foot, you spin the fabric, sew right straight down, leave the needle in place, spin the fabric, put the presser foot down, and sew right down the other side, and do the same thing. Spin the fabric, and there you go. And then again, we have to do it on the other end. Now I've already ironed it a little bit and I marked where these go. So you stick this down here, put it in place. This end pins a little easier. This part of the Velcro isn't quite as tough. Now, I included some Velcro, but if you run out, don't use the stuff with the sticky back. It gets caught in your sewing machine and it's a real hard thing to get out. All right, so I start sewing right down, take the pin out, sew right down the edge, take the pin out, keep sewing down the edge. Now I get to the end, oop, spin it this way, spin the fabric, right to there, spin the fabric. And they don't have to be really accurate with this. You just have to get it so it's attached really well. And you might want to try it. Stick it together, see if it comes. If it doesn't come loose, you're probably good. All right, now we take this little fabric here, this little part, we fold it under, and then we fold it under again, so that we end up with a nice little enclosed area, because this is that kind of fabric. I'm gonna take the threads off. This is the kind of fabric that ravels really easy. So we'll put it here, put it down like this, and pin it. Here, make sure it's nice and tight, pin it, go down here. It only takes like 3-4 pins, but it makes all the difference in the world. Pin down here. And yeah, you poke yourself a lot. You get used to it. Again, we have this little piece here, we fold it under, and then we pin it again. It's all gonna be hidden that way, and you'll never see that rough, ugly edge again in that spot. Then we're just going to pull that pin out, set the presser foot, and sew right down that. Just lickety split. Depending on where you ended up pinning that in place, you may go through the Velcro again. And that's okay. Then we do the other end. Pull the pin out right away, since we know we're going to hold it in place. And away we go. Now notice I wasn't that accurate, and so it doesn't look exactly the same on both ends. It won't hurt anything. It's just going to be the inside of my purse. It doesn't have to be perfect. But it does have to make sure that you catch that, otherwise it'll come loose on you. And there we go. Now if we put it together, we do like that. Almost got it done. So we're going to take this apart this way. We're going to match this end up, pin it in place. Then we're going to take this end, match those two ends up, pin it in place. All right, then laying it down, put one more pin down here, and laying it down over here, one more pin here. Now in your copy, I put lines in for you. So all you have to do is sew right along the line. So you line it up with the line, and you stitch right down it. And you take the pins out as you go. Then I go over here, same thing. Take my pin out, make sure I've got it kind of held in place. So right down it, right down that line. Pull that pin out. Then you turn it so it's right side on the out, flip it through, poke out the corners a little bit, bring it up, you get yourself a Velcro pouch. You can put anything in there, anything that fits. All right, now that would be enough, but let's take it one step further and let's put a handle on it. Once we've got our bag done, we cut a piece of rope. This is just clothesline rope. We open up the Velcro. This part can be a little bit tricky, but I think we can do it. And we stick it right between these two right here. Then here's the tricky part. You might want to get Mom to help. Put it on the sewing machine and stitch across it. Then I'm going to shut it. I'm going to stitch across it this way. Just right down, right on top of where that cord would be in there. Now it's attached, nice and tight. Then I do that on the other side. Oops, gotta open up the Velcro. Get it in place where I want it. Stitch across those. You can do this by hand if your machine doesn't quite do it for you. And then pick it up this way. Go right on top of where that cord would be. Now it's in there nice and tight. And you have a handle on your bag. So you can put this on your shoulder. You can put this on your shoulder. You can put stuff in it. You can carry it around. You can shut it. You can put Tinker Toys in it, whatever. Hope you enjoyed making it, and I hope you make one too.